Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem, Naaseh v'Natzliach.
Amen.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Ironside Lunch and Learn. A very special thanks to our gracious host, who's been keeping this going for a very, very long time with this special spread that he prepares for us every single week, providing us the space. May Hashem bless Judah Mendel and Ofer Mizrahi, B'bracha, V'atzlacha, Se'ata Deshmaya, and all that you do. And Be'ezrat Hashem, big Hatzlacha and B'sorot Tovot in the Zivug department.
Amen.
This week's Parashat is Parashat Tetzave. The first pasuk opens up with Ve'ata Tetzave et Bnei Yisrael Ve'ikhu elecha shemen zayit zach katit la'maor le'alot ner tamid. I'm not going to go past this pasuk today. Just this one pasuk has so much built in it. This week's parasha opens up with something very unlikely. This is not characteristic of the Torah or of God or even of the writing style of the Chumash. That the first line would be Ve'ata tetzaveh, and you shall command. Typically, how does it start? Vaydaber Hashem Moshe lemor. Vayomer Moshe Hashem. It always starts with the whole introduction. God spoke to Moshe. Hashem spoke to Moshe. Spoke to God. God spoke to Moshe. Vayomer, Vaydaber. All of a sudden we see Ve'ata tetzaveh. Why would that be? So it says that Ve'ata tetzaveh is that in order to understand what's going on here in this parasha, you have to fast forward a few parashiot over to after the Chet of the Egel. After the Jews created the golden calf, and Hashem was at the point where he wanted to destroy all the Jews, and he told Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm ready to press the reset button and start over fresh just with you. Moshe Rabbeinu, being the great Jewish leader that he is, says, Mecheni na misifrecha asher katavta. Erase me from your book if that's your plan. I am not going to start a whole new nation just for me. I'm here to pray for my people, for the Jewish people. Mecheni na misifrecha. Erase me from your book. And we know that when a tzaddik speaks, his words have to come true. Even if he was just saying it out of context. Mecheni na misifrecha if. Even if it was a what if. So the rabbis tell us, when it says, Mecheni na mesifrecha, it says, erase me for, and they zoom in on the word sifrecha, which divides into Sefer Chaf, the 20th chapter. Now if you take the 20th parasha, I'm sorry, not chapter, parasha. If you take the 20th parasha from the beginning of the Chumash from Bereshit, all the way to number 20, which parasha is that? Parashat Tetzave. And this parasha, Moshe is not mentioned at all. Moshe Rabbeinu is not mentioned not once in Parashat Tetzaveh. That's why the parasha begins with Ve'ata, and you. However, Moshe Rabbeinu is hinted many places in this week's parasha. Just to continue on this beautiful chidush, that on the 20th perek, Mecheni na misifrecha Sefer Chaf, if you remember 3 weeks ago in Parashat Yitro, we said that there was also a hint to that. When we say about the Torah, what do we say? Lekach tov natati lachem. Hashem says, I gave you a great item. I gave you a great gift. Lekach tov. What is this lekach tov? The Torah. Which parasha was the Torah given on? Parashat Yitro. So we see that there's a hint to it also, because lekach tov, the word tov, grammatically, according to the Gematria, is equivalent to 17. So the 17th chapter, the 17th parasha in the Chumash is Yitro. So lekach tov natati lachem. When did we get the parasha? And when we get the Torah? On the 17th parasha, Parashat Yitro. So here's another way that you can see that this chidush has been used before. Now, even though Moshe Rabbeinu was not mentioned in this parasha, he's hinted in many different ways. We're going to do some math gymnastics a little bit, mental gymnastics, some gematriot. If you take the name Moshe, which is Mem Shin Hey, there's a concept called milui. Milui are the inner letters of the letter. For example, Moshe, it starts off with the Mem, right? Put the Mem on the side. The milui of Moshe is Shin Hey. The word Shin, the milui is Yud Nun. The letter Hey is Hey Aleph. So if you take the milui of Moshe, which is Mem, Yud Nun, and Aleph, it comes out to 101. 101 is the numerical value of the milui of his name. How many Pesukim are in this week's parasha? Exactly 101. Letting us know, Moshe, you're not in this parasha, but you're hinted to it. Furthermore, the pasuk begins with Ve'ata Tetzave, and you shall command. What's the song that we sing to all our children? Torah tziva lanu Moshe, right? Torah tziva lanu Moshe. So it says, take the word Tetzave, and you have over there the taf is the Torah tzaveh. Torah tzaveh. What is the numerical value of tzaveh? Tzadik is 90, Vav is 6, Hey is 5, altogether 101. Again, another hint to Moshe Rabbeinu. Torah tzaveh, Moshe Rabbeinu, you're going to be the one that's going to instruct the Jewish people. You're the one who's going to be give the tzivui. Furthermore, if you take the first word of the parasha, Ve'ata, and we know that right now we know it's Moshe already. And we take the last word of the parasha is, I'll read the pasuk so you can see the last word. The last word is Nechoshet. Let me see if I can find it. Who's?
It's my parsha.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is good for you to say Divrei Torah on the table. So it says Vata Nechoshet. I'm sorry, not the last word. The last. It's saying over here, I believe in one of the last aliyot. It says that the first word is Ve'ata. And the last word is Nachoshet. Take the word Nachoshet, which is copper, but take it and split it up, which is Noach and Shet. And we know that Moshe Rabbeinu was, first of all, in his name we know his reincarnations. Moshe was Moshe, Shet, and Hevel. Remember the whole story of Cain and Hevel?
Shet or Shem?
Shet. Remember Hevel, Cain and Hevel? Moshe Rabbeinu was Hevel. And Shet is the son that Adam and Rishon had right after the killing of Cain and Hevel. The third son his name was Shet. Moshe Rabbeinu was Moshe, Shet, and Hevel. However, besides being those three people, Moshe Rabbeinu becomes an Ibur Neshama. He becomes an impregnated soul in people to do a tikkun. So Moshe Rabbeinu was also part of Noach. One of the tikkunim that Noach did, because there's also a big drash about Mei Noach. How come they call the waters of the Mabul Mei Noach, the waters of Noach? And we see that Mei Noach is connected to Moshe Rabbeinu. So this word of Ve'ata and Nechoshet that says Ve'ata and you. Who's you? You are Noach and you are Shet. So we see that Moshe is hinted to it, even though that his name is not in it. And ironically, tonight is what? The 7th of Adar. Which is what? The yahrzeit of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was born on 7th of Adar, and he passed away on the 7th of Adar. And you should know that back in the days, that's how it was. People were born and died on the same day, which was a sign of a complete life. That they had a full life. So he's not mentioned in the parasha, but yet all we talk about is what? Moshe, Moshe, Moshe. We never stop talking about Moshe. That's his greatness. Furthermore, on this 101 concept, when we see Torah Tziva, it says Torah Tziva is 101. So the rabbis tell us in the Gemara, anyone who wants to remember his learning, he needs to learn it 101 times. Equivalent to the numerical value of Tziva, 101. If you learn 100 times, you're going to forget it. 101, you'll remember it. Why? Because there's an angel that's responsible for forgetfulness. And the name of that angel is Mas. Mem Samech. Mem is 40, Samech is 60, altogether is 100. He says, you get to 100, that angel is going to meet you at 100.
Like Masach Nasa.
Masach Nasa. But they say Al-Shkali, it's actually the name of the devil himself. Because what's his name? Small. Samech Mem.
Small left.
Right. So Samech Mem and Aleph Lamed. So we see that he's also the angel that's responsible for us to. They say when a person goes to a shiur, as soon as he goes out the door, he's all like, why can't I remember? Why can't I repeat? I learned something. Why? I want to sit on the table. He had like an incredible chidushim. Why can't I repeat it? Why? Because as soon as he came out, that angel was saying, no, don't remember. If you remember, you're going to move up. That's why it's very important to toil in Torah. Torah, you have to work hard to get it. It doesn't come easily.
But eventually you're always going to remember.
Yes. And we're going to talk about how you can have a segula to remember. Right after this first pasuk, in the same pasuk, Parashat Tetzave b'nei Israel, what does God command Moshe to do to the Jewish nation? Veikhu elecha shemen zayit zach katit lamaor. Take for you pure olive oil, crushed, lamaor, to lighten up the menorah, laha'alot ner tamid, in order to illuminate the candle that's lit, that's constantly lit in Bet HaMikdash. So if we take that pasuk, by the way, it's still pasuk aleph. Shemen zayit zach katit lamaor. Let's take those words now out of the pasuk. Shemen, oil. Zayit, olive oil. That's the best. If you really want to know what's the top of the line when it comes to its oils, it's olive oil. Zach, pure. In layman's terms, virgin olive oil. The best of the best of the best. Okay? If you really want to be mehader on your Shabbat candles, on your Chanukiah, when you're lighting candles for a yurtzeit, for a special rabbi, or for someone passed away, there's nothing better than that oil. Katit means that it's been pressed or crushed. Lama'or, to illuminate. That's the literal meaning of the words. But here's some other hidden meanings. Take the word katit. What does the word katit? If you remember, last week we said, "V'banu li migdash v'shachanti betocham." Build for me a sanctuary, and I will live among you. Right? And we took the word v'shachanti, and we said there's a secret in the word v'shachanti. Over there we can see the years of that Bet HaMikdash is going to be around. How? V'shachanti, and I will reside among them. Where does Hashem reside? In Bet HaMikdash. How long is He going to reside in Bet HaMikdash? Well, if you take the word v'shachanti, and you can do v'shachen, and I will live. T. What's T? Taf, 400, Yud, 100. The first Bet HaMikdash, Taf, Yud, 410. The first Bet HaMikdash was around for 410 years. Take the exact same word v'shachanti, and now you can do v'sheni, tafchav. And the second Bet HaMikdash, 420. From the word v'shachanti, we get the amount of years that Bet HaMikdash is going to be around. Then when the Bet HaMikdash is around, what do we light? We light the menorah, right? So this word katit has that same secret in there. Kat is chaftaf, it, yutaf. So chaftaf, 420, yutaf, 410. First Bet HaMikdash, 410. Second Bet HaMikdash, 420. Look what's hidden inside the words. Now, in order to, if you go into the Mishnayot that talk about the menachot, and talk about the special olives, there's levels and levels and levels of different types of olive oil. Because olives go through a process. What's the process? First, they get pressed.
Well, no, you have to pick them first.
Right, so I skipped a few steps. Let's just say you have to plant them, grow them. Then you have to pick them at the proper time. And after you pick them, there's a whole procedure of how you clean them. Let's get to the point of where you want to turn it into oil. So the best olive oil that is used in Bet HaMikdash, the one that the pasuk is talking about, shemen zayit zach katit, is you take the olive, you press it once. That first drop that comes out, that's for the menorah. Next is a second level. Now you're pressing it some more.
Like an orange.
Yeah, exactly. So now the leftover, that second pressing, or the second procedure that it goes through, you can use that for menachot. When we say solet la mincha belula b'shemen, so there was an offering that was solet, that was offered as a mincha belula b'shemen. So they would take this oil and put it on top of it.
On the solet?
On the solet. Solet mincha belula b'shemen. Okay, we said that in the korbanot every day, maybe 3 times.
On the flour?
On the flour. Part of the offering is oil on the flour.
The other one's first cold pressed.
The first.
First cold pressed on the bowl. First
Yes.
cold pressed, extra virgin.
So this is now the first drop. The first drop, that's for the menorah. Everything else for sota mincha. Now past that, if you know that the olive oil, you can give more. Now what do? You can crush it. You can go around and get it completely done. And then after you do that, you can take all the leftover pieces, put it into a bag, tie it up, and start squeezing out all the leftover. I mean, there's many procedures of extracting the oil out of the olive. But the one that was used for the menorah is the shemen zayzach, first drop that comes out.
Drop.
When you press it one time, whatever comes out, that goes to the menorah. Now, menorah, this pure olive oil is used for the menorah. What is the menorah? Menorah is for the or. It gives off light. And we know that light, what do we call the Torah? Oraita. What's the Aramaic word for Torah? Oraita. In the Kaddish, we say, also you hear the word Oraita. The word Torah in Aramaic, Oraita means light, illuminates. When you talk about light, we're thinking about Torah. Just like when we think about water, we think about Torah. Anytime you see the word water or light, substitute it with Torah. And you see everything will fit. Because the way that water behaves and the way that light behaves is the way that the Torah behaves. Or the way that the Torah can fit into a person's life. So the menorah, besides being known to illuminate, or when somebody gets enlightened, right? Let's use the word now, enlightened. What happens? You're becoming, something in your mind is becoming illuminated. So it has to do with knowledge. And the way that we know that the menorah also corresponds to knowledge is because if you walked into Bet HaMikdash and you walked into Kodesh HaKodashim, you would have, this would be the scene. Right in the center, you have the Aron behind the Parochet. On the right side, you have the menorah. On the left side, you have Lechem Napanim, the table with the piping hot 12 loaves of bread. The rabbis tell us that, I think we've mentioned it many times in our previous lessons, but I'll repeat it again. He says when a person is checking himself into a prayer, into Amidah, if he needs some help in his parnasah, when he prays Amidah, let him shift his feet a little bit to the left, to the side of the bread, to the side of the table. It's as if you're saying to Hashem, I need some bread, I need some help with the parnasah. Just by shifting a little bit towards in your Amidah to the left, you're praying to the side of Lechem HaPanim.
Even if there's no bread or table, right?
No, we're talking about where it is in Bet HaMikdash. If you're standing right now, you walk into Bet HaMikdash, the menorah would be on the right of you, the Lechem HaPanim would be on the left of you. So when you go to Amidah, and you want to give Hashem a signal that you need some help financially, you go a little bit to the left and you pray. Subtly. You don't want to go completely to the other side and people know you're praying for Parnasah. Or one day you reveal this secret to people in the shul and you walk in, everybody's on the left. However, on the flip side of it, for someone who wants knowledge, for example, a Torah learner, he's dealing with a very hard sugya, a very hard concept in Gemara. It's not going through. So he goes into Mincha, he's like, Hashem, I'm breaking my head all day long. I can't understand this concept. So what does he do? He takes his feet a little bit to the right, to the side of the menorah. Hashem, give me the knowledge. Let's say a person is studying for the bar exam, or studying for some sort of test, or studying for something that he needs his knowledge right now. So he can check himself into an Amidah and turn to the right and say, Hashem, help me. I need knowledge, I need smarts, I need help right now from the menorah. And Hashem, Be'ezat Hashem, will yechonen oto. So there's a concept to turn to the right, to the menorah, for knowledge. As a matter of fact, if you ever watch any of the hartzaot of Rabbi Yeshayahu Pinto, Be'ezat Hashem, he'll have refuah shelema, you'll see when he talks, most of the time, he's like this. He points to the side of the menorah. Why? Because as he's teaching, he wants to have the proper amount of knowledge come. He's trying to draw from the menorah as he's teaching. You see, people that know, tap into it. So when you turn to the menorah, praying for knowledge, for guidance, for chokhmah, which is a good thing. Every once in a while you want to do it. So we always make this joke, and if you want both, what do you turn into a penguin? You like have both your feet like that? No, the right thing to do is, maybe in the morning to the left, in the afternoon to the right, or the best opinion out of all, if you're smart, no, right. Come on.
Straight.
Straight is you're accepting everything. You're saying Hashem's exactly what it's supposed to be. You're not even putting a complaint in the complaint box. But it's not even about that. But they said that the best thing is to what? To the right, to the menorah. Why? Because if you're smart and you have the knowledge, you'll be able to get everything you want.
But you could also do this, right? Like that.
For what?
Like when you're in Damidah and Hashem.
That's usually when you walk away, when you back away from
Right.
Damidah. That's the end.
So that has nothing to do.
No, that's a different thing altogether. Now, something else that you should know about olive oil, it has a segula lezikaron. It's a great agent for preserving memory. And ironically, olives have a segula leshicha. If you eat a lot of olives, they make you forgetful.
With salt.
No, we didn't get the salt.
With
Olives,
salt.
olives, and oil. Now listen to this.
Well, that's what it makes it.
You might be close. You might be close. It might look like an olive. I have it here. Here's a list of 5 things that make you forget your learning. Rat food or cat food. Meaning food that a rat touched or a cat came along and nibbled on it and then you eat on it. Segula l'shikha. Not so common today. We're not talking about actual cat food, and I don't think there is rat food in the supermarket. But back in the days, a lot of people in their homes used to have these animals walking around. Rats or mice were common in villages. So if they came and they touched the food, it's still edible maybe, but they say a person who might eat that, it's a segula meshachim talimud.
And also the bread, right? Like when you cut the bread, they say don't eat the ends because that's my favorite part. But
I was just going to say the same.
Yeah, it's a Sephardic thing. But they say if you eat that, then it makes you forget. I think it's actually a Moroccan thing.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's like, for us, that's the piece from the bread, the crunchy.
Yeah.
All right, the second thing that makes you forget your learning, eating in heart of an animal. Chicken hearts.
Levavot?
Levavot.
Oh, I don't eat that.
Okay. Drinking leftover bath water. But keep in mind that these are things that nowadays will say, ew, disgusting. But back in the days, water was scarce. And, and if you find yourself in a water that somebody just took a shower and it's not so dirty, people were prone to maybe drink it. But a person who drank that water where somebody already used it, meshachim talimud. Washing feet one on top of the other. Taking, like, let's say, some sort of keli and going like this one after the other. That makes you forget your learning.
One on top.
Meaning you have your foot on top of your foot and you're putting water on top of it.
Separate your feet with water.
Yeah, pouring water on top of one foot on top of the other. And the last one from this list, olives. Olives make you forgetful. On the flip side of it, 5 things that make you meyashvim et halimud or meshivim et halimud. In other words, these are things that have the segula for good memory. Hard boiled egg with no salt. Maybe you meant kazait. The egg is the shiur of kazait.
These days with salt. I think it's a salt issue.
You know what, I'm going to look into that.
They made like a whole spiritual thing about it, but it's really a salt issue. No.
Things that are good for retaining your learning and good for memory. Wine and besamim. Now who knows when we use wine and besamim?
Havdalah.
There you go. Be makpid and havdalah for memory.
Makes sense.
Leftover water of dough. When the ladies make the dough, sometimes when they have like this little bucket where they wet their hands or where they do the mixture, whatever leftover water over there,
Drink it.
I don't know who drinks it, but whoever does, it's good for memory. I guess for some people that are dealing with memory issues, this might be a good tip. Pat pachmin, bread that's baked on charcoal, or what would you call that type of oven?
Like a brick oven. No?
Brick, that's a brick. This is using charcoal. What do they use in brick ovens? Wood. But let's say if you use the brick oven, but inside it would be charcoal.
Well, wood becomes charcoal.
No, pachmin is actual charcoal. So bread that was cooked on top, that was prepared on top of charcoal, is excellent for retaining memory. And the last one, olive oil. So you see that olive oil is very unique. Furthermore, there's another segula, since we're talking about things that help us in life. There's a segula of shemen lama'or le'ilul nishmat Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. There's a segula that when a person is in trouble, when a person needs help, and sometimes immediate help, it's good to take tzedakah and say this pasuk: shemen lama'or le'ilul nishmat Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. I'm taking this tzedakah and I'm putting it le'ilui nishmat, to elevate the soul of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. So the question goes, why would Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes have this type of segula? Where do we get the source that he has this power? So let me tell you a story. It's a famous story from the Gemara. The Gemara says that I'm reading in Hebrew and No, it's in Hebrew, but I'm going to translate it. So let's see if I can switch Hebrew into English without reading the Hebrew. So the wife of Rabbi Meir, her name was Beruria, and she was a righteous woman. And during the times of the Romans, they took her sister to the jail, and they wanted to put her in an unholy place. In other words, it was a whorehouse. And Rabbi Meir, she was begging Rabbi Meir to help her out. Help out my sister. Go save my sister. Rabbi Meir, you're a tzaddik. Go help out my sister. So Rabbi Meir went to the jailhouse, and he spoke to, what do you call the guy that takes care of the jail? The
warden.
Hasoher, the warden. Let's say you spoke to the warden over there, and he told him, take this amount of money, a large amount of money that he gave to him, and give me back my wife's sister. So the warden told him, listen, I respect you, I know you're a great man, I'd like to do it, but I can't, because if they catch me, they'll put me out to hanging, they'll kill me. So Rabbi Meir tells him, see over there you have all these vicious dogs standing out there, and they're starving right now. They're starving. And all they're waiting for is for anything, a piece of meat, a person, an animal, anything. And they keep the dogs like that for a reason. So they can be mean and they can be good protective dogs. So he says, you see those vicious animals over there that are waiting to kill? Go stand next to them. And if they try to hurt you, just tell them, Elaha de Rabbi Meir aneni. Just say those words. The God of Rabbi Meir, answer me. So he went ahead, stood in between all these dogs, and when they came to attack him, he said, Elaha de Rabbi Meir aneni. And they just went away from him. Right away, this prison guard or this prison warden took the money, released the sister of Rabbi Meir's wife, Beruria, and after several days, the Romans saw that he let go of this particular woman, and they said, that's it. You are going to die by hanging. And they took him to hang. And just as they put the noose over his head, and they're about to hang him, he pulls out the same sentence, the same segula. Elaha de Rabbi Meir aneni. And the hand of the guy that was hanging him turned into, it withered up, it dried up. Just stood like that in place. And the Gemara says that since that day, any time that Am Yisrael is asking or yelling or beseeching in the name of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, they are answered. As a matter of fact, you should know that Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes is buried standing up with his hands up. Rabbi Meir in his grave is not laying down. If you go to his tziyun, over there, the grave is not a typical grave, and Rabbi Meir is constantly in this pose. Why? Because he's constantly praying. Why? Because there's constantly Jews in Am Yisrael that are saying, Elahad Rabbi Meir Aneni. There's also
I gotta write this down.
yes, it's very famous.
I know it's
It's
famous,
a
but
big
I never heard
segula. Rabbi Meir is one of the big Tanaic sages of the Gemara. This is a heavy hitter. Also, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, he has a big segula to give shemen lamaor. It's a big merit to give shemen lamaor, oil to light the menorah. So nowadays, since we don't have that segula, we don't have the ability to donate olive oil to the lighting of the menorah. So what do? Did this mitzvah go away? Is it no longer with us? So the answer is no, it's still with us. What most people do nowadays, when they want to perform this mitzvah, they go to their local shul and they ask to pay their electric bill. They're asked to participate if they can pay for the electric bill or part of it or a portion of it. And when they give the money, they give 100 towards the electric bill. They say, Shemen lamaor. I am giving for the oil to light up the shul. Or to activate the segula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes says, if you give Shemen lamaor, I'm going to illuminate in your life. So if you have a chance to donate money towards the electricity bill in the shul, or Shemen lamaor, or even if you don't, it's not to be electricity, you come to the rabbi, you go to him, Rabbi, here's $18, Shemen lamaor. The rabbi's going to tell you, what do you mean Shemen lamaor? Shemen lamaor, this is to illuminate the echal.
So you can use it as like
Yes, it's your kavanah.
Here's some money, light something up,
It's your kavanah. Buy Shabbat candles, the people. Buy your side candles. Shemen lamaor.
Lameor.
Lamaor, yeah, to light up.
Lamaor, I would say L-A-M-E-O-R in English.
M-A-O-R.
M-E-O-R.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have a custom in Havdalah. Right before we say Sabri Maranan, we say the whole beginning of the Havdalah. And right before Borei Pri Gefen, we say Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni 3 times. Why?
Eloha.
Yeah, Elaha.
How do you spell it?
Elaha. E-L-A-H-A. And why do we do that? Because we want to ask Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes for one thing that week. So it would be like this: Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni, and you pause right there and you ask for one thing: I need Shalom Bayit, or I need success with my children, or I need success in my business. In your thought, you're thinking that one thing for the week that you want, one thing. Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni, Elahad Meir Aneni, Sabri Maranan, and then you continue the Havdalah. This is very common in Sephardic homes, especially Moroccan.
It's 3 words.
Elaha de Meir Aneni.
There's 3 words.
Yes. Now, this is very interesting, and with this I'll conclude. It says that the Jews are connotated to olives and to olive oil. See, olives are unique because most fruits give juice. Most fruits give juice, and sometimes they move up a level. Like grapes, you turn to grape juice, moves up to geffen. But most fruits, they give juice, and that's as far as they go. Olives, not only are they a fruit? Olives a fruit or a vegetable?
It grows on a tree.
The fruit. Okay, so olive is a fruit. Besides being a fruit, it gives off this oil. Now, this oil, you can drink it, you can use it for your cooking needs or whatnot. But if you just think about it, it also creates fire. This is very unique. This is not a regular fruit. This is a fruit that its juices, that its oil produces or can produce oil. And this oil can create fire. And another thing with olives, the more you hit it, the more you get out of it. Like we said, the first press, you get 1 drop. Then you crush it. Then you grind it. The more you hit it, the more you get out of it. So they say the Jews are like the olive. Why? The more they get hit, you see the pogroms, the Holocaust, anti-Semitic hit. What happens? More comes out of it. We become better. We become better Jews. We become more connected to Hashem. Not only that, it's the more that they oppress us, the more we shine. Oil, if you think the end product of the olive, which is the actual oil, it's the only liquid that doesn't mix with any other liquid. Mix it up with anything, with water, with other oils, with Coke, with wine. Doesn't mix. It rises straight to the top all the time. And that's us Jews. We don't mix. We don't mix. If you notice, we have this thing that we're completely muvdalim, ben kodesh lechol. We're completely different from any other type of people on this planet. For some reason, we have completely different way of thinking, acting, behaving, belief. It's like water and oil. And the Jews the oil. And if you notice, the oil never stays down. Always comes on top. That's the Jew. And when the oil burns, especially pure olive oil, virgin olive oil, it burns pure and it burns bright. Now, that's a Jew learning Torah. When a Jew is learning Torah, he's the bright light of the world. If you were able to peel away this bodysuit that we have called a body, and you just see the neshama, and you want to see the person spark, how much is it? Is one person on a low flame, or is the other guy like the logo for Breslev, Ha'esh Sheli, like the whole huge flame? Is he a Menorah like a Nag BaOmer? How is he burning? It all depends on the Torah learning, and the Torah learning is what illuminates the world. So when you say zach, it has to be pure. When we say katit, it's crushed. How can it be pure and crushed? Pure is when your thinking is pure. Crushed, it means that it's 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the guy's still trying to figure it out. He's wrestling with himself. He's separating himself from all the worldly pleasures, and he's getting crushed by the Torah. He wants to learn, he wants to understand, he wants to get closer to God. That's a tzaddik. Zach, pure, and katit, crushed. And we see that in this week's parasha, even though that we're not looking, even though that it's dealing with many things that just have to do with Bet HaMikdash, and we didn't get past the first pasuk, if you can imagine. Look how much beautiful our Torah is. We could have gone just to the second pasuk and spent another hour. You can't forget that this is the week to remember, tonight, to remember Moshe Rabbeinu, our rabbi. He's the original rabbi. He is the original number one first rabbi to every single Jew. Doesn't matter what your denomination is. So tonight, do yourself a favor and get yourself a yahrzeit candle, or get yourself a nice bowl, pure virgin olive oil.
Bowl?
A bowl.
Oh, okay.
And put in there the little wick over there. Instead of using a candle, go all out. Parashat Tetzave. We're talking about the olive oil. Go all out and light a candle for Moshe Rabbeinu. And it's his yahrzeit, which means that he has a lot of power. And what's Moshe Rabbeinu known for? He's our leader. He took us out of Mitzrayim. He's the one that gave us the Torah. And come to Moshe Rabbeinu and say, Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm lighting for you Shemen Zayich, Katit Lama'or. Please get me out of my personal Mitzrayim. I'm having hardships with my wife, a person might say that is having hardships with his wife, with his finances, with his health, with his childbearing, child raising, with Torah learning, with spirituality. Take your whole Mitzrayim, put it up in a bundle, and come in front of that candle and say, Hashem, Moshe, get me out of my Mitzrayim. Moshe, please, pray for me that Hashem should be matzliach me in my spirituality. I want to get closer to the Torah that was given to you by God. Light a candle with pure virgin olive oil. Shabbat shalom u'mevorach.